Before you can start creating reports, you have to set up subfolders for templates, reports, and output. Templates are where you design your report. They involve setting up categories of data that you want to appear in your output, and then setting up the categories that you want to filter that data against. Templates allow you to set the basic outline of a report that you can run as often as needed by changing definitions to suit different needs without having to start from scratch each time. For example, you can create a template that reports on circulation at your library by date range. You can run that report monthly to get the circulation statistics for each month by changing the dates when setting up the report definition. The next folder you'll set up is the Reports folder. Instances in this folder are the individual report definitions. These tell Evergreen how to run the report off the selected template by selecting which data to include in the template's categories, what type of output to provide you with, and where to send it. By filling out the reports form and creating a report definition, you set the parameters for your filters for any given set of needed output. For example, in your template, you may say that you want to filter on org unit. In the report setup, you select the specific org unit to apply to that filter. You also determine who receives the output and in what form. The final folder to set up is the Output folder. This is where all the final output goes after a report is run. Even if you specifically request that the output be emailed to you as an Excel spreadsheet, an instance of the output will still be created in this folder, allowing you to come back to your reports account and re-download your output as many times as needed until you choose to delete it. You may choose whatever configuration makes sense to you for the folders in each of these categories. You may have a single folder for each or multiple. You will be able to choose which report folder to save any given report definition, regardless of which template folder the original template was stored in. You will also be able to choose any given output folder to store the output, regardless of which report folder the definition was stored in. If you ever encounter a time when you can't remember where something was stored, there is a search mechanism at the top of the page. It's a very basic search, but if you name your reports well, it can also be a tool to help you navigate your organizational structure. Let's start by creating a Templates folder. Click on the Templates folder in the sidebar. Name the folder. Set the sharing level. Do not share means that only you will be able to see this folder and its contents. Share means that others logged into the org unit level that you select in the next step will be able to see this folder. In the case of a template folder, they will be able to clone the templates in the folder or run reports directly from them. However, NC Cardinal policy requires cloning in these instances. The 3 levels of sharing are your branch only, any branch within your system, or all of NC Cardinal. After creating the template folder, we can follow the same steps to create a report folder. First, I'll click on the top level reports folder in the sidebar. I'll give my report folder a name. The name that I chose for my templates folder has automatically filled in this field. You can change this if you'd like. And if you're creating a reports folder without having created a templates folder first, you'll see that this field is blank. I'll go ahead and keep the same name I used for my templates folder. Sharing settings are the same as they are in the template folder. Whereas a shared template could be cloned from a shared folder, report definitions can be viewed or edited. Finally, we'll follow the same steps to create a folder for our output. I'll click on the top-level Output folder in the sidebar. From here, I can see that the name that I selected for my templates folder and my reports folder has carried over into the Output folder. I can leave it as is, or I can change it. I can also select the same types of sharing settings that I did in the other 2 folder types. In this case, shared output can be viewed or downloaded. I can expand each of my folders to see the subfolder hierarchy. From here, I can begin creating templates and running reports.